Now we can start.
All right, can everyone see the presentation? Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Hello, my name is Caitlin Mathers, and I am the Assistant Manager of the Adult Services Department at the Palatine Library District. And I'm here to welcome you to the iREAD Showcase for Summer 2026 Plan to Seed Read. We are here to give you a glimpse of all the exciting things that you can find in our resource guide in order to help plan your summer. If your library is an institutional member of ILA, or if your state is an iREAD state partner, then you get a free one-time download of the resource guide. If none of that applies to you, it's only $15. So if you see anything that stands out to you here, we have so much more in the resource guide that'll help you plan your summer and make it super easy. So again, that's me. And we're just going to take a quick look back at our favorite moments of 2025, which we had an amazing summer that Maisie led us through with Level Up at Your Library. We had Where's Gordon? People sent in photos of Gordon all around the country, and I believe he went international too. So this is where Gordon went to visit, lots of fun places. And we had amazing decorations that people sent in and shared with us on the Facebook page. So make sure to also join our 2026 Plan to Seed Read Facebook group, and you can share all of your decorations and programming ideas because we love to see them. And Becca loves to come visit, so definitely reach out if you are someone that wants her to come see all the cool things that you do at your library, because everyone did really cool things with our 2025 theme. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Ellen, who is our chair for 2026.
Hi. As Caitlin said, my name is Ellen Fitzgerald. I'm a Director of Public Services at the Naperville Public Library, and I am your 2026 Chair for Plant a Seed Read. So I would love to tell you a little bit more about our theme. Um, so I'm really excited about this theme. We're developing it. Can we get the slide? Thanks. When we were developing, we were tossing around ideas about farms and food and decided to do both farms and food as farms grow food. So this is a farm to table theme. Food is really something that connects all people. Growing and sharing food at a community table is embedded in all cultures. And I could see so many parallels on how a library is a community table for sharing stories, information, ideas, and friendship. And when we come together as at a community table, boundaries are really transcended for a shared experience. And I feel like this theme really encapsulates that, as you can see in our mission statement. You know, we say a library grows ideas that nourish our mind. Both food and stories connect us to our family, culture, economy, and ecology. So iREAD 2026 Plant a Seed Read provides a context for exploring culture, history, science, health, and human connection. Um, and as you know, with all of our themes, something that's really amazing about Plant a Seed Read is how versatile it is. So you can really lean into the different aspects of this theme, whether you go into the plant aspect or the farm or the food aspect. You can design this program to fit your specific community. And I would love to share the different artists with you so you could see their beautiful artwork and how all of that will work with 2026 Plant a Seed Read. So first up, we have Hatem Ali. You are probably familiar with Hatem, especially if you are in the children's librarian market. So Hatem is the illustrator for The Proudest Blue. Also, anything that was written by Adam Gidwitz, Hatem is the illustrator for. He is an Egyptian-born illustrator based out of New Brunswick, Canada, and he's been published by many different publishers. His art is unbelievable. It's super adorable, and I hope that you enjoy seeing the sneak preview here of the poster that we have for from his artwork. You can also get a glimpse of some of our backgrounds here. When you look at Becca's background, for instance, this comes with your free resource, with your resource guide as a download. You get these cool backgrounds. So that's Hatem. And then we also have the amazing Wendy Zhu, and her artwork is super cute. And while we say all artwork is for all different ages, some of her artwork lends a little bit better for those teen audience. However, everybody is obsessed with her super cute kitty cat that is a radish cat. It's a Korean radish, and I'm sure you'll see it later on as we have some of her artwork sprinkled through our slides, as we have some of the other artwork sprinkled through our slides. Wendy is an illustrator for Mooncakes, which is adorable, super cute book I recommend, as well as the Infinity Particle. So I'm super excited you can use her artwork in so many different ways, and I can't wait to see all of these, what everyone creates with us. And then our third illustrator is Sarah Ferrone, and her artwork is so adorable, unbelievably beautiful. If you had the chance to get to ILA, you possibly saw that one of the shirts that we had featured was this really cute little bookworm. I've heard people are getting tattoos of the bookworm. It's super popular. Um, and again, as you know, we reiterate, all of the artwork is for all ages and for everyone. However, Sarah's arts could lend itself a little bit more to your adult audiences. It's a little bit more refined. Sarah has done some absolutely beautiful cookbooks and done the illustrations for other, uh, lovely work. So we're really excited for everything that she has to bring to iREAD this year for Plant a Seed Read, and I can't wait for you all to see that. And then last, and of course not least, my background here. We have Jory John and Pete Oswald. So Pete Oswald's really cool Bad Seed, Good Egg illustrations, along with the rest of his fun food group crew, will be joining us for 2026. And we have later on, we'll have our PSA, and you can get to see a little bit more of these super cute illustrations. So yeah, so I cannot believe, I mean, every year I'm floored by all of this amazing artwork that comes from our illustrators and artists. But I just feel like this year all of them really captured it. And one of the most fantastic things that just kind of happened naturally with all of this different artwork is that the palettes are very similar. So if you decide to use all four different artists, they'll really work together very well in your library, and they look really good together. So it's really exciting for us, and I cannot wait until summer on this very, very snowy day in Illinois. um, So our website is up and running. If you want to check out some of our different products, you can stop by the iRead website right now. And Becca has a link to the shirt in the chat. So you guys can actually go there right now and check out our website and see all of the cool incentives that we have for sale. And it's it really it, it's I get like, I'm speechless here. I'm like, I shouldn't be speechless on the webinar, but it's super fun. I love the shirts. I think that your staff is going to get really excited about it. We've got a lot of great incentives that I think will really speak to all different types of communities. And they're so fun and so stinking cute. So you can't tell here, but you see the bad seed and the good egg down there? There's a secret to them. They're actually the same thing. You just flip them around and it's one stuffy with two critters, fritters in one. So it's really great. I highly recommend everybody stopping by the iRead store and checking it out. I think you're going to be hard pressed not to want to get everything. So again, as Caitlin said at the start of this, if you are a state partner, you can reach out to whoever your state representatives and get a download of our amazing resource guide. Or if you are an ILA institutional member, each library that's an ILA institutional member will get one download with that institutional membership. So definitely recommend that. If you have the download, you can use the graphics any way that you would like, and you have them in perpetuity. So it's just such a fantastic resource for summer. We have inside of there, besides these beautiful graphics, we have amazing programs that you can use to plan your whole summer. We have a lot of additional articles just from how to get started all the way to a daily scavenger hunt and everything in between. I highly recommend, checking it out and sharing it with your staff to help them build your summer. So that's that. And then we have, again, as Caitlin said, our Facebook page is up and running. So please feel free to stop by and join our 2026 Facebook group, Plant a Seed Read. We're also on Instagram at iRead Program. And we have a regular newsletter that you can subscribe to get some updates, and also some inspo for your decorations and things for 2026. So check us out. And then I think next up we have our PSA. I'll see if we can get this going. Oh,
Sorry, guys, I hit the wrong button.
Hi, Becca. What are you planting?
The sound went out when you muted, Caitlin.
Imagination seeds. What will you do with this?
I think you just can't mute.
I am so sorry. I thought I hit unmute. My bad, guys.
Oh, that's
Seeds, I hope. Information seeds, story seeds, imagination seeds. What will you do with the seeds when they're grown? Read, of course. You could just go to the library. Plant a seed and read this summer at your library with reading programs for children, teens, and adults.
Can you tell I'm not in the tech department?
Sorry, you did a great job.
All right, and we are now going to go through all of our different age groups for programming, as well as different decorations and other things that you can do.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Patty. I'm the school services librarian at the Palatine Library. Here are some great ideas for children from the 2026 resource guide. Books for breakfast. Invite families to Books for Breakfast. Decide on a menu that works best for your library. While families eat, you can present stories, songs, and poems about breakfast foods. When the kids are finished eating, they can create placemats to take home. Afterwards, families can go on a scavenger hunt for pre-prepared bundles of food-themed books and materials. It's a great way to promote different collections and also encourage families to explore the youth area or different parts of your library. Grow, Sprout, Grow. Children will learn about the magic of seeds by making a mini greenhouse. This could definitely be a story time or a school-age program. Start the program by reading Plant the Tiny Seed by Christy Matheson and then have the kids follow the prompted movements. All they really need for their greenhouse is a 12-ounce plastic drinking cup, smaller cups, seeds that are quick to sprout, and of course, water. Send the kids home with their mini greenhouse and encourage and care cards and encourage them to share progress photos with the library to share on your social media. All right, Farm to Fable. Present different STEAM activities based on fairy tales and nursery rhymes with a farming and gardening focus. This is just a lot of really great ideas for activities. Children will make the faces of old McDonald's farm animals out of different colored shapes of construction paper. They will code the Oats and Peas song, and with that, they can draw the movements or create their own symbols. And they will, of course, build farmhouses strong enough to withstand the big bad wolf. It's a great program to just use the supplies you have on hand at your library. You could present this to the kids as a group, or this would work great as stations as well. All right, pizza party. Everybody loves a pizza party program. This is a really simple and cute take on that. Start the program off by reading Every Night is Pizza Night by J. Kenji Lopez Alt or Hi Pizza Man by Virginia Walter, and then transition to the pizza party game, relay game. Afterwards, the children can create mini dessert pizzas on sugar cookies using frosting and fruit, and you can send them home with mini pizza boxes as well. All right, Sensory Play, Summer Baby. This is a free play program for babies birth through 23 months and their caregivers. Families can move through this program at their own pace. Some really adorable ideas for nature-themed stations. Some ideas include ducks in a pond, a bin with water and plastic ducks, a planting flower station with dried beans, plastic shovels and artificial flowers, a bug find station, a bird nest bin with cut up cardboard tubes, shredded brown paper, feathers, and bird puppets. You can also incorporate a sponge play station, sensory bottles, and picnic play with pretend food and picnic baskets. It's also a great opportunity to get out your nature-themed and food-themed board books for the families to play with. Some great ideas. I believe next I'm passing it over to Maisie for teen programming ideas.
Sure thing. Thank you. My name is Maisie. I am the children's manager at one of our 3 Naperville Public Library locations. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm here to talk to you about my favorite thing in the world, which is teen programming. So, one of the things I love to do with teens during the summer is like cooking programs and foodie programs. Kids are always hungry, teens are always hungry. You can teach them super basic cooking if that's something your library is set up for. Microwave mug meals are also another alternative if you don't necessarily have access to a kitchen. Will It Waffle is one of my favorites because it's an excuse to get those mini waffle makers that I'm always obsessed with, but I have no use for, and more. If you also have some foodie teens, you can also do a taste test competition. One of my favorites I've done for many years is I start the summer off with a s'mores off, where we have to battle to see what the best non-traditional s'mores topping is. All right, next slide. I am also a huge fan of a paint and snack, a paint and sip. You get to play Bob Ross while teaching kids how to do a painting. You can kind of use this for a farm scene or a farm animal. This is a parrot, so not so much a farm animal in the example, but super, super fun. You can either do a guided paint along or challenge the teens to create their own scene, which is also fun because then you get to have them vote for which compositions they like, and that's just a fun time. All right. So I kind of combine 2 crafts because they're very similar, but I love them. Felt food bookmarks are a great make and take, drop-in craft activity to pull out in your teen space. And they're a great intro to sewing lesson. And then the no-sew avocado pillows are so much fun, especially if you kind of get the kids to do the cutting, but then also let them really customize their faces. We have so many mustaches, googly eyes. It's a super fun time. And who doesn't love a cuddly avocado? Crochet is like crazy popular, especially with teens right now. This is actually a project I wrote. It is a chapstick holder that is also a crocheted mushroom, and it's a really great way to help teens kind of grow their crochet skills, makes them practice things like magic loops, and slide knots. Super easy, but still really fun. And um, I also think summer is like the perfect time to celebrate graphic novels, because it's when kids and teens specifically have time to read the things they're interested in. I tried to highlight a couple that sort of tie into that theme. Family Style is a memoir about cooking. The Princess and the Grilled Cheese is a super cute fantasy about food. And North Ranger is set on a ranch, and is a Jane Austen retelling. So again, kind of a great time to celebrate some of these fun reads for teens. All right, I'll hand it off to Nikki to talk about adult.
Hi all, I'm Nikki. I am the Programs and Exhibits Coordinator at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the 2026 Resource Guide Coordinator, co-coordinator with Kara. For adults who also love participating in summer reading, you can organize a tour for a local farm, brewery, or vineyard. Often they'll do tours for big groups and teach people how the food goes from the farm to the table. And sometimes people can do tastings at breweries. The local ones in Illinois are linked below. You should be able to find some at it around you. Create or join a community garden. Arlington Heights is really lucky in that we have a community garden hosted by our local Catholic school, as well as one that is hosted by our village and park district. And so the library has plots at both, and we invite staff and patrons to come and plant seeds with us, and then also take care of the garden. Half the produce we grow goes to our local food pantry, the Wheeling Township Food Pantry, and then others can be taken either by patrons or used because the Arlington Heights Library is lucky enough to have a maker place, so it's used in some of our classes there. Next. Host a recipe swap. Sarah Ferrone created these amazing recipe cards for our topic this year, and you can use those and give them to patrons at a program where they can write their favorite recipes on them and pass them out to other patrons, or they can bring the recipe to give to other patrons. You don't have to use these recipe cards. You can use any recipe card, or it can be virtual. Next. And hosting a plant swap. People love to share what they've grown in their garden. They're very proud when their tomato plants grow actual tomatoes. They're very proud when the peppers work out, and they want to share that with other gardeners. So we host a plant swap on a Sunday during the summer months, and people come and bring everything from the produce they've grown in their garden to houseplants they no longer want, to little garden vases and other accoutrements. And people really love them. It's also a really great way to do a free program because it doesn't cost the library anything. Everybody's bringing something to take, and they bring something, but you don't necessarily have to have them bring something to take something either. And I am passing to Jessica to present all ages.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Banco. I am the Assistant Studio Services Coordinator at the Poplar Creek Public Library in Streamwood, Illinois. Next slide, please. Our first family activity, all ages craft, is basically growing your reading list. So yeah, there's a family you work together to create a garden featuring your favorite books with paper. So you build a custom bookshelf from scratch, and then you decorate it with many handmade books and paper flowers to create your own little family masterpiece. Our second one is building your own bouquet. You can partner with a local garden club, or if you're lucky enough to have your own garden plots or your own personal gardens to donate, working with patrons and others to work together to host a buffet, like a bouquet bar, essentially. So they can mix and match local flowers and then wrap them all together with ribbon and extra little artistic flair to create their own bouquets. Second one is very simple and very much what it sounds like. You're painting a terracotta pot. But it's fun to kind of put your own spin on it. There's some, like you can see the very hungry caterpillar here, and tied into some of the books that we're reading here. I think like a side-by-side good egg, bad seed would be super, super cute. So that's one you could do as well. And our last one is exploring your senses. You get to put senses to the test in a challenge to try to identify different foods based on your senses. So guessing how things smell in a cup or figuring out what you're touching inside of a bag. And it could be a lot of fun and definitely hilarious to put some things in there and learn more about your senses as a family all together. I am going to pass it on to Kara for outreach.
Hello, my name is Kara DiCarlo. I'm the school liaison at the Orland Park Public Library. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm excited to talk to you about outreach. In the resource guide, there is an entire chapter that is puzzles and word searches and mazes. So if you are going out to an event and you have access to a poster printer, you can print these things out. I like to print out the word searches when I go to like family reading nights and just sort of limit them to 1 or 2 words to find. It's a good low stakes way to get people to stop by and talk to the library. If you have a local garden club or you have some avid gardeners in your patron base, you can make a garden tour. You can do it as a library program where you meet at the library and then go to all the gardens, or you can do it as a self-directed tour with a map. In the resource guide, the NASA Earth Science Education Collaborative has a whole bunch of programs that they have created for us to use, and it's got everything you need. You don't need to know anything about nature science to do these programs. The one that I really liked was tree stories. So you get the little slices of the tree trunks. Those are called tree cookies. And you can show kids dendrology, which is a study of tree rings, and they can learn about how the climate affects how trees grow. And it's a half-hour program, and literally everything you need is in the resource guide for that. And then traveling story times. If you have a local farm, you can ask if you could do the story time on the farm, or you can go to the farmer's market. It's a 2-part program. One part is the story time, and the other part is the presentation of the farmer to answer questions about how it works to grow things on a farm. And I'm going to pass it over to Jenny for decorations and displays.
Hi, my name is Jenny Stevens, and I'm one of the adult services librarians at the Thomas Ford Memorial Library, which is in Western Springs, Illinois. If you've never heard of either, it's by LaGrange and Hinsdale in the Chicago suburbs. And I'm going to be talking to you about decorations and displays. So here are a couple of the really cool decorations that were highlighted from our resource guide. What I love about these is it's great for all ages. I know we typically think of children's apartments as being decked out for summer reading themes, but as an adult services librarian, I feel that adults also appreciate when we get a little festive with our theme. The first is a seed garland, and it's super easy, and on the plus side, it is reusing seed packets. You basically take used seed packets and you cut them to look like little banners and string them with ribbon. It's especially great if you have a seed library and you buy packets of seeds to feed the seed library. The other are, so it's hard to tell in this picture, but it's a large scale carrot and radish made out of tissue paper. And they're really fun to pose with and are really easy to make and have a great impact in whatever space you put them in. I'm a huge pun person. I know they make some people groan, but I think patrons can be on your side with them. So one option to lean into the pun is to do joke displays, and that can be done in a couple of different ways. You can just have the punchline and the opening line, I guess they're called, displayed, or you can always cover the punchline with a little flap and have people lift it to read. So, for example, what did the mommy cow say to the baby cow? It's past your bedtime. And then you can always do punny promotionals. This year, especially with Plant to Seed Read and all of the different vegetable puns, there are a bunch of different options. A couple of my favorites are Nothing Beats Summer Reading, and then Summer Reading is Radish. So feel free to use those in displays or on social media, whatever you think would get your patrons into the theme. So these are examples of bulletin board displays. Again, leaning into the pun with Nothing Beats Summer Reading or Reading is a Barnyard of Fun. For each of these, they're examples of what a background of a bulletin board could be. You can add farm animals and other accoutrements as you feel fit. But what I really like about these is it gives, by just doing the background, you give patrons an opportunity to participate. For example, Reading is a Barnyard of Fun. You can have coloring pages of cows and pigs printed out and have people decorate them or color them in, and then you can staple them to the bulletin board. For Nothing Beats Summer Reading, one thing our library did here for the fall was they did a garden just like this, and each month they had children decorate a different piece of produce. So in September, everyone decorated an apple. So a third of the bulletin board had everyone's cute little apples. And then for October, everyone decorated a pumpkin. And so we created a pumpkin patch. And then in November, everyone decorated corn. So as the season moved on, you really saw the garden come to life. And kids were very excited to see kind of their produce from all 3 months on the display. So one thing that's great about the resource guide is in addition to all these different sections we're talking about, there's also one for bibliographies, and it's pretty much bibliographies of anything you could think of that's related to the theme. There's cookbooks, there's gardening books and picture books that have relation to food, and they're all age grouped, so you can tell who they're for. But these were some of the favorites that I decided to highlight. Playing with food. I know kids are told not to play with food, so when you give them the option, it's super fun. Foodie fiction, especially for teens. So these can either be cookbooks aimed toward teen chefs or fiction books that have bakers or cooks as characters. I love a good cozy mystery, and when you add the culinary aspect to it, it's pretty popular, and so that's where we got the food and felonies tagline. And then agriculture for all ages is a great one because it's not age specific. So if you have a shelf or a display right by a circulation desk, someone like that would be perfect. So people of all ages can find a book that they want on that shelf together. And now I'm passing it back to Becca.
Hey everyone, I'm Becca Boland. I'm the iREAD Content and Development Manager for the Illinois Library Association. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that I want you all not to miss in the resource guide for 2026. There are articles in every resource guide, and I feel like they are slightly underutilized. So I wanted to make sure that I called those out. First, if you have requirements that you need to incorporate America's 250th birthday, anniversary, what have you, we have an entire section that is all about connecting Plant to Seed Read with the birth of our country. So, because freedom grows where knowledge is sown, is a great, planting the seeds of democracy, all of that other good stuff. There's so many really great ideas. And also it would be just a great addition around Independence Day to your programming, because people like, the kind of Independence Day, 4th of July programs and activities around that time. Wait, go back, please. Thank you. There is a whole article about creating community cookbooks. It talks about briefly the history of community cookbooks, and it talks about different approaches in print, digital, staff-led, community-led, having kid. There's a really fun little part in there about having kids write like recipes where you ask them what their favorite food is, and then you ask them how you think they make it. And it's really, really, Jenny. I'm so sorry. Jenny just put in the chat, plant a seed, succeed from Britain as the anniversary pun. She really loves a pun, y'all. But the community cookbooks, I think it's really fun. I know that one of my most cherished cookbooks is the cookbook that was created by my elementary school, that actually has two recipes that my mom used to make all the time, and that's the only place we can find them. So they're really beautiful and really cool and such a beautiful reflection of the communities that they're created in. So think about that. And that's probably something you're going to want to start thinking about soon because it is slightly more involved. We had our friends at the Ann Arbor District Library in Ann Arbor, Michigan, share the evolution of their Gardening and Farm Fest Expo. It's a really cool program, and it started pretty small and grew. So you can just pull pieces of it, or you can grow it into a whole big event like they did. I was really excited to get that from them. Okay, now, sorry. So we have so many amazing printables in the resource guide as well that have been shared from publishers and organizations and all kinds of cool stuff. Our friends shared, there's a bunch of like food and gardening based activities that are from around the world. You'll see Juan Carlos's Salty Ice Challenge from Peru, and it talks a little bit about why that's connected to Peru and then how to do the activity. And our friends at Creative Bug, which is a database that has just endless arts, crafts, videos that are really, really well made. And they also have a number of kind of printouts and handouts and that sort of thing. But they created just for us this really cute potted plant pencil holder that you can print out and have folks make. And it's available in two different versions. So the pre-colored version as well as a blank version that folks can color in themselves. NASEF is the National Association. It's video games. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but if you click your little linky link in the resource guide, it'll take you right to it. Basically, it talks about creating a farm in Minecraft and how you, if you have a video game club, or just kids that come in and spend hours playing Minecraft on your computers, this might be a really cool thing to incorporate into some of that playing and learning that's already happening. Um, Jessica, no, Nikki, somebody talked about the recipe cards. It was Nikki, that Sarah Ferrone created that are available in the resource guide, but that's not all. But wait, there's more. She has this little mini zine that you can see on the left there. It's already, again, ready to go. It tells you how to fold it up, and your teens or whomever can create food or farm focused zines. In the middle there, you'll see these little activity mats, which you can print out and laminate if you'd like, or just hand them out. It's, you know, creating your own pizza. There's one about counting fruits and vegetables, finding the letters. There's all kinds of really, really cute stuff there. And then Sarah not only created recipes exclusively for the program, she also created those blank cards, and you could also turn that into a community cookbook. So they are stunningly beautiful, and I really want to make sure that people not only know about them, but are using them. It was mentioned earlier by Ellen. We have Zoom backgrounds that you're welcome to use. We actually used one of the Zoom backgrounds as a background for one of the slides in this presentation, so feel free to not just use it as a Zoom background. We have some really cute social media posts that are already raring to go. You just throw them up as you're getting ready for summer reading or throughout the summer, just to make sure that you have, content for social media so you don't get lost in the algorithm. And not only that, but we have banners for your Facebook, we have avatars for your Facebook, all the things that you need to quick and easy get your social media up and ready for summer reading. I'm doing two more of not this, but something similar, where I do a deep dive into the resource guide. So we're kind of skimming the surface of this resource guide. And with these other two, we're going to dive deep. So get your scuba gear ready. We're going in. I would love to have you join me for those. And just like this webinar, if you're not able to attend directly, please do sign up because I'll send out a recording of both of those. And then keep your eye out on the newsletter and the learning opportunities page on our website. And any additional webinars that we work on or create will be found there. And I'm going to hand it back to Kara for some really exciting future info.
All right. I know that it's the last month of 2025, but we're going to go ahead and talk about 2027. So for 2027 summer reading, it is the science fiction theme, and our tagline is Reading Expands Our Universe. So when we were kicking around ideas, I was really pumped for this one, for a number of reasons. One, it covers every available demographic. And if you don't believe me, you can go onto the Wikipedia page for science fiction and look at all the subgenres. But also, it encourages us to dream big, take risks, and imagine a future enhanced by human innovation. As libraries, we do our best to bring new technology to the people. So I think that we've got technology under our belts, we've got storytelling under our belts, and there's something for everyone in science fiction. We've got four featured illustrators. For 2027, we've got Stevie Lewis, who illustrated How to Eat in Space and some of the McAnulty books about planets like Moon, Sun, Pluto. We've got Jen Korus. If you are an Amy Krauss Rosenthal fan, you might recognize her work. She also illustrated this beautiful book by Ishtar Mercurio. We've got Lisa Sturl, graphic artist, and Joel Christian Gill, another graphic artist. We've started to see some of the proofs come in, and oh boy, guys, this artwork's going to be bonkers amazing. Back to Becca.
Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. So we need you all. If you're here, it's because you're the kind of person who's thinking about summer reading in December, and you are our kind of librarian. We would love to have your input in the creation of iRead's resource guide. It says two opportunities to participate, and then there's one opportunity because I didn't do a good job of editing the slide. There is one opportunity remaining. Well, there's two opportunities. One of them has closed, and that's to be a member of the resource guide team task force. We are full up. Thank you, thank you. If anyone on the chat is a part of that. But what we need from you now is submissions. We need your ideas, we need your programs, we need your bibliographies, we need your articles, we need your decorations and displays. We need them for all ages, because it really is the heart of our program. Our resource guide is the foundation that we build the program on. It's by librarians and library staff for librarians and library staff. So we really want that to be a representation of everyone that uses the program from sea to shining sea. And then when you Wow, there it goes. So then you get the resource guide and you have all this fabulous information, but you also see some things that are from colleagues and even yourself in that resource guide so that we really get a flavor of the whole country. And then you get that beautiful artwork and all the bonus artwork, and that's yours in perpetuity. So if you don't use it for 2026 or 2027, you'll use it beyond, and you're most welcome to do that. And we really try to be transparent in all things that we do. We're all about taking down any barriers that might be present in order to help you make the best summer reading possible. Um, so these are the different categories under which you might submit for 2027. Reading expands our universe. I can't imagine that the folks in this chat have never done some sort of a space-related craft or science fiction book list or cool planetary bulletin board. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you have done programming that aligns, we would love to hear about it. And we are accepting those. We're accepting those until the end of January 2026, January 31st, 2026. I will put a link in the chat in just a minute, but you can also find it on the 2027 resource page for under iREAD. So, and there's also now a tutorial of how to submit. So if it's something that's slightly intimidating, there's a tutorial that will walk you through it step by step. And you know, it's all the stuff that I talked about. You're going to get your name published. You're going to shape the future of this program. You're going to share your ideas with colleagues around the world. It looks really good on a resume to say that you are a regular contributor to the resource guide. And then again, we love transparency, so we're just transparent all over. And I'm going to hand it over to Jenny. She's going to talk about the very exciting breaking news for 2028.
All right, I'm back. As you can tell, we all wear many hats in iRead and never leave. So I'm here to talk about 2028. I know we already did some time travel with Kara heading into 2027, but it really does take several years to get these ironed out. It's kind of a well-oiled machine at this point. So we are moving ahead to 2028. So our 2028 theme, thank you to everyone who voted. For those who don't know, we established a general broader theme. So this year for 2028, it was hobbies, crafts, and maker or makery, depending on how you pronounce it. And we come up with a list of 10 to 15 taglines that fit that. And then our state partners, people in the Illinois Library Association, vote on a tagline that we feel best represents the theme and that will be universal for libraries around the country and around the world, and that also translates well into Spanish. So the 2028 theme that y'all decided on was craft your own story. So that will be what we're prepping for 3 years from now, well, 2.5. But our vision statement for it is crafting and creating encourages us to use our imaginations and let it take shape with our own hands. Libraries, through books, craft classes, maker spaces, and more, not only foster but encourage these expressions of innovation and artistry. Whether you decide to write stories, knit, 3D print, crochet, embroider, woodwork, brew potions, draw or paint, there is a niche and an art for everyone. The emergence of recording equipment, sewing machines, green screens, button makers, heat presses, engravers, and more being available at so many libraries truly illustrates the importance of making. Through crafting, we can connect not only with others, but with ourselves as we let our imagination create our unique visions of the world. With iRead 2028 Craft Your Own Story, we encourage readers and libraries everywhere to celebrate these artistic pursuits for both the end products and the restorative act of creating. So now that we have that theme set, we will be spending the next, between now and 2028, prepping. You'll hear more about it in years that come. And right now we're working on getting illustrators. So stay tuned for that. And then I will pass it back to Becca.
Well, friends, we're coming towards the end of our time. We want to make sure that we answer any questions that you might have. I know that this is the kind of person I am. So if you're the kind of person who walks away from a webinar and then realizes that you have questions, that's no problem. Feel free to email us at iread@ila.org about questions about the program or anything really relating to summer reading. We're happy to either get the information for you or connect you with someone who can get that information. Does anyone have any questions? You can either put them in the chat or put them in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. This is a really nice opportunity. I only get this fabulous opportunity to present with my friends and colleagues on the iREAD committee. You have a whole group of humans here who are an amazing resource. So if you have any questions whatsoever, now is the time. I'm around too. I'm okay. So if you want to ask me anything, please do. I'm not seeing any questions and or answers. You can reach if you we should be on your state contract for Louisiana. I know we've gotten a number of emails from you all. Um, and that's one of those things that if you need a little bit more information, please go ahead and email us at iread@ila.org and we'll try to get you whatever forms, because I know that we've had to send some W-9s and that sort of thing. And that goes for anybody. If you need any sort of documentation for either your business office or your state, just reach out. We'll do what we can to get it to you. Thank you all so much for coming. We're so excited about next summer. Like Ellen said, every year we're like, it can't get any better than this. And then, because like Level Up at Your Library, it was fabulous. We were so excited. And I was like, this is it. This is the top. We made it. And then Ellen comes along with Plant a Seed Read. And now I'm loving this all over again. Oh, thank you all so much. This is great. Janae, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, thank you so much. We really hope that it's useful. And one of the things that I just really want to remind everyone is that one of the foundational principles, is that a proper sentence? Sure. Hopefully you all know what I mean. Of iRead is that we want to create resources for you to create a summer reading program that's a reflection of your library and your community. So there's no one size fits all when it comes to summer reading. So we try to provide you with as much information, as many ideas, as many variants of art and all of that so that you can do what works best for you and your community. And we really stand by the flexibility of this program. And so please, as you're thinking about your summer reading program and what it looks like and what you're calling it and all of that other good stuff, really focus on what's best for your community, because summer reading should always be a reflection of the people participating in it. And I just think that's really, really important. Oh, Mandy's fabulous. Uh, it's always exciting. In a lot of the webinars we do, I'll have folks that are like, this is my first summer reading. And as someone who's done multiple decades of summer reading, when I was in public libraries, I remember that first year and how exciting it was, but also how overwhelming it was. And at that time, I think we did do iRead. And it was so nice to have a jumping off point, right? Like a concept to use. So I hope that I'll see you at future webinars. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. And please, please, please contribute to the 2027 resource guide. I know all of you have fabulous ideas for all ages, and we want to see them and we want to hear them. So thanks again. Have a great day. And please, next summer, don't hesitate to share all of the fabulous things you're doing with us.